Morning and welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. It is Monday, the 7th of August, episode 267. I am Marie and welcome. I'm back. I know. Hey, I got the lurgy. And I've just come back from the mill, and it appears that it's not only me that's had the lurgy. I've got 7 away over there today because it's not a huge team. There's about a third of the team away with the lurgy there as well. So it's obviously doing the rounds here in the bay. And as you can hear, I'm sounding still a little bit, and I've got my, just in case the coughing starts. But yeah, no, it was a bit laid low. I don't know whether anyone else has come down with it. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was definitely not a cold, but it wasn't the world's worst flu either. But it was just in that zone where you definitely don't want to come to work and share it with your mates, do you? So I was. Thanks, Sabrina, saying she's glad to see me back on deck. I'm glad to see me back on deck. And my husband, that was my husband that took that charming photograph without my, he took it and he sent it to me. He said, oh, because he's not used to seeing me sick. Yes, charming, with the dog but I did get some knitting done, and I forgot to bring the knitting in to show you. Brace yourselves. I think I'm going to actually get my poncho finished for Knittle Science. I know, right? I think it's going to happen. I did get a lot of knitting done. So I could knit, which was good. And the poncho was the perfect thing to knit because I need to write this poncho up. I do need to write this poncho up. But it was the perfect thing to knit because it was very basic, very straightforward, very just so relaxing. It was just perfect when I'm feeling rubbish like this. And the nice thing is that I'm now onto my final ball of Union Fibre, which is the precious outside of the yarn. And I will get to the end of that. And with the couple of extra balls that I've thrown in to break things up a little bit and give me a bit more meterage, which was a Bohemia, a Bohemia that's so old. We're talking OG Bohemia worsted here, so right back batch 1 Bohemia worsted, an amber type, and what was the other one I did? Oh, just a dip dye, like a random single dip dye trial. But I've thrown those in, and it has now given me just eked out that extra length. So I think I'm going to be good. So I'm quite pleased about that. And it is looking really good. Like, I'm looking at the colors. I'm really happy with how the art yarn's sitting in there. I'm probably now at about 80% of the length. And once I get that done, I'll pop the seam in, and then I'll pick up the stitches I like the big roll neck, so I'm going to do my roll neck. And I'm really happy with it. And it's fast. It's on a 6mm needle. It's so freaking fast. Oh, it's so nice. Just wuzz, 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 wuzz. It's really quick. Really, really quick. So yeah, I literally sort of sat on me chuff and watched Murder Mysteries. Murder Mysteries on TVNZ Plus, but it's so funny. I don't actually watch a lot of television, and when you're feeling a bit you end up watching a bit of TV, and so that's what I did. And I have to say that Vision of the Nation, in terms of their streaming service, they got some good stuff on there. I was quite happy. What did I watch? Chemistry of Death, because I've read those books. If you've not read those books, Simon Beckett. So there's Written in Bone, Chemistry of Death. There's about 5 of them. So that was on there. That's new. I watched all of that. Loved it. Very true to the books. So that made an old purist like me happy. Then I found Jane Halifax, which I used to watch in the 90s, early 2000s. Rebecca Gibney's brought that back, and that was a 2020. That was in there. So I finished that last night. So that was like, woohoo. I chewed through all of that. But it's crazy. But I got lots of knitting done, which was awesome. And one of the yarns in the knitting is actually, it's been up, as you may have noticed, it's been live for about 10 days now. And that is this here, Fantasy. and it's the 12 ply. You could get 12 ply to chunky. It's a single roving, and I had a few balls. Well, it was actually skeins, to be honest, because they were. I whipped it out of thread waste, and it was from the trial of this yarn, and they'd did a dye trial over it to see what it would look like, and they just threw I think the pink they threw over it was they must have been doing I think they were doing La Rosa, or they might have been doing Clover. It was one of those, but it was one of our colours, and then they threw some of this in there to test the colour. So that's what I've got. So it's perfect. It's tones in with what I've got perfectly. Knitting up on the 6mm needle, amazing. So single roving. Now I know many of us have a love-hate relationships with single roving yarns, right? We had the roving, but this, I have to say, so this is 60% merino, 25% alpaca, and 15% acrylic. Now, before you guys balk at the acrylic, no be doing the balky at the acrylic here, people. The acrylic is in there for a very, very good reason. It's in there to actually for when the dyed colours, and it's only 15%. So if you're knitting using a sock yarn, for example, it's less than what would be in there if it were nylon. But see how you get that lovely, look at those beautiful saturated sheen and pearlescence in the colour. So it's there for that, but also too, it helps with, it's just sort of helps pull it all together and keep it quite cohesive. The handle on this, seriously, it's amazing. Like, it is really good. Like, really good. It is such a beautiful squishy handle. In my poncho, this is amazing. I'm about to put out in the newsletter, I've left it on the printer, never mind, a poncho pattern that I found in Cascade, which is a freebie. This yarn, could you use this as a garment yarn, do something like this? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is where the love-hate relationship with single rovings come in. You and your D pillar need to have a very good relationship if you're doing garments and single rovings. But sometimes that's okay, like when the handle is really lovely and beautiful and squishy. These yarns, I have to say, are wonderful for things like ponchos, wraps, sort of capes, shawls, because you don't get the sort of friction in the wear. Actually, this potentially would work all right too. The wearability is really lovely. So we didn't have a lot of this. It was actually something that we'd done up for someone else, and anyway, they discontinued. They ran it, and then they discontinued the range, and we had all this wool fibre left over. So these are the colours, the solid colours we've put in, and I'll put the red and the orange together at the end, but they are quite different. So there is a red and an orange, the blue and the purple, and I've missed a colour. There is also another blue as well, which I forgot to grab. So there's actually 7 colours, 7 solid colours, including the natural, which is that one there. And what we did do is we threw in, so there's 9 total, and I've missed one. There is actually a really lovely steely blue, which I forgot to grab off the shelf. So there's 9 total. Look at that, and we've thrown in a couple of prints, just for a bit of fun. And the prints are made up of the colours that are already in the range. So that one there is, and is actually the steely blue colour is in this one too. So that's that one plus that steely blue, which is that one there, is made up in that range. So see, look at those together. Aren't those a happy thing? Imagine those together in a wee blankie. Be amazing. So those are those. This and this is the is that guy. So they've all sort of got a random print friend. Now, the poncho that I'm making would, in fact, I'm even seriously considering casting on and doing a poncho just in this stuff because it's such a pleasure to knit. It's just, sometimes you just want to make your life easy. So if you're looking for patterns, If it's a shawl, a wrap, a poncho, or anything that doesn't require you to have an exact gauge to get fit, just substitute out. I would be looking at a 5.5 or 6 millimeter needle. I'm doing mine on a 6, and 6 I'm finding is perfect. Now, I just grabbed this because this is literally sits by my desk, and I was wrapped. I had this on. It was so cold when I got to work this morning. I had this on, plus I had this around my shoulders as well. But this is the basket weave shawl, which I did a wee while ago, and I did this in the roving, and I did this. I think it was on a 4 or 4.5 millimeter needle. I can't remember. Now this upsized with a 6 millimeter needle, which would get you a much bigger wrap, right? Which would be freaking amazing. It'd be like a semicircular blanket almost. Would be incredible. Utterly incredible. It is just, it's lovely. And this, so Fiona's just saying, yes, I was wanting a pattern to make the fantasy I bought. Dive into the patterns you've already got. I'm quite sort of hot on this. We've all invested all these money in these patterns, and you'll be amazed at what you can reconvert into something else. I mean, this is the Nanook, and I did this in the tweed, and this is actually written, I think she had it on, I think it's a 5.5 millimeter needle that this is written for anyway, 5 or 5, but you can just, up the needle size and pull the sizing back. Not that hard, really. But this, I think this is a sitter. Because this is single roving anyway, we know it's going to look good. This and this would be utterly lovely, like really unctuous, lovely, beautiful. This, I think, is a sitter. The other thing you can do, if you're sitting there thinking, don't know, have you got one of these, or everyone got a little Montricot book around, or maybe you've even got a pattern that is a pattern with a stitch dictionary or something in it? But grab yourself one of these and have a look through the different stitches, because this is, if you're wanting to make a blanket or a wrap, see, look at that woven stitch there. That would make an incredible wrap or blanket in that, Kato. So just go through and get yourself inspired. And as I said, if you're looking at doing a wrap or a blanket, I would be going 6. I'm for knitting this yarn myself at the Mo. 6 millimeter needles is a really happy place for that style. So even look at that with those little bunches, so those little bobbles there. That would work really well too. So, don't be afraid to have a bit of fun with it. The other yarn that I would look at too, if you look for patterns, if you've got patterns, have a look at the sort of Scandinavian Lopi yarns, which are all, the thicker Lopis sit at this weight. So the one difference between this and that thicker yarn is the handle on this is amazing, like so amazing. It'll be incredible. So it is, because this is just so soft. So yeah, play around. And anyway, the price on this is incredible. I think it's $5.95 a ball every day. Merino alpaca, $5.95 a ball. Serious, stop it. I know. It's because it's a one-off. It's, as I said, it's somebody, it's a cancelled order. We'd spun another batch for the client, and then the client cancelled it for this coming season. So we converted that batch in it for us. So we've got no plans to repeat it. But because it was a full batch, we thought, we'll give it a name and throw a label on it and make it a little bit of fun. But it really is quite lovely. And, for something a little bit different, and to sort of shimmy up your knitting and give you something a little bit more exciting, I think it's definitely worth doing. So that is on the shelf and available online now. Now, speaking of onlines, I came in this morning and the inbox was full of where's my order, where's my order, where's my order. I did actually, I think before I went off with the lurgy, put out a warning of that there would be potential delays, and there are. So I've just checked with Claire to see where we're at with those delays, and she reckons that by Wednesday all orders that were placed in July. So if you placed an order and it was calendar month July, it will be out the back door with us by the end of play on Wednesday. Okay, so if you're sort of sending us an email going, where's my order? I placed my order on the 27th of July. Where is it? It will be any order by the 31st of July will be out the back door as of Wednesday. And then the August orders will start on Thursday. We'll start sending those out from Thursday. Look, we apologise for the delay, but quite simply, warehouse clearance, you guys went nuts. And that the opening day of that warehouse clearance was second only to the opening day of Epic Sale. I know, right? It was just completely cray-cray. So we've got the team have been going absolutely hammer and tongs last week to get all of those out. So we should have those out and be back to normal. But by the end of the week and heading into next week, everything should be all back to normal. So we do appreciate your patience. I know it's frustrating, but yeah, it went a little bit cray-cray and we weren't expecting it. So thank you for that. What else do I have to tell you? I still have new yarns to come in, but I'm not going to do too many while we can't get orders out. So I just wanted to let you know about the fantasy because it was already there and we have some that have already ordered. But I will wait until we get normal resumptions to deliveries and those new yarns will come out. But they're beautiful and I'm really excited about them and they're lovely. There's some really lovely yarns. What else do I have to do? It's not enough I have to tell you. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting anything? Tell me if I'm forgetting anything. Let's have a good morning. Oh, now I've remembered what it is. August Nights. There you go. I knew it would come back. Of course, that's at the end of the month. That's been ticking along. A few of you have had a little bit of an uptick and thought, oh, I think we'll come. So there are a few classes left. It isn't too late. You can still register for that. knaugustnights.co.nz. It's all at East Pier. It's going to be utterly lovely. Really looking forward to it. Ethan's coming up if you want to catch up with Ethan. He's now just going to come up and chill out, I think. You'll probably see him at the can reception desk, knitting and swanning around and driving everyone crazy as he does because we love him so much. So he'll be here. We've got a nice little group of traders that will be in a really good mix of yarn and accessories and really fun stuff. So I'm just really looking forward to it. So that is going to be, it's not too late. So if you think you're going to be passing through the bay that weekend and you think, oh, stuff it, we're going to go, you can jump on and register. Is Maureen coming down in November? Is the store open on a Sunday? No, we don't open Sundays, Maureen. We're open Saturdays 10 to 1. So we're not a Sunday opening. So 10 to 1 on Saturdays and from 10 on Mondays. So you'll definitely need to come and visit us through those hours. And of course, we always have lots of really wonderful special things with Knit August Nights. So do watch out. There's still plenty of wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, delicious yarns to be had. And it's so cold. I don't know about you guys. It's funny. I feel like the knitting season is running late because it's been so chilly and all the rest of it. But no, that's pretty much me. Very dull, really, isn't it? Oh, but we have been over at the mill, though, today. It's been quite exciting. We've just been working on some new yarns to come a little later in the season, which will be fantastic. And, yeah, and even across the summer. Look, we're going to get through Knit August Nights, and then Stitch and Summer's going to be here before you know it. I know. It'll be like that. Crazy. All right, I'm going to keep going because I haven't even got the newsletter out yet this morning. I'm so behind. Get the newsletter out. And as I said before, if you've got an order in the system, we should have everything that was placed in July out the back door by Wednesday night. And if you've sent us an email, I know Cheryl's working her way through them, but if you don't hear from her and it's just a standard where's my order email, she may, because we're doing this and I'm going to put this in the newsletter as well, we may not answer those. So it's not that we don't love you, it's just that we've had so many of them that we just want to make sure that we can get to those inquiries that we need to get to. That's the other thing. Let's come back. Speakeasy. I'm going to keep Midwinter Stitchmas going this month. So I'm going to do a winner for July, and then Midwinter Stitchmas will keep going for August, for Knit August Nights as well. So we will do a draw for that. Both of those will come in. And there was someone that was asking about the yarn that had the lovely little sort of fleck in it that we did. I said careful what you wish for. That is on the cards to be done. It was one that was down for spinning for the epic sale. Didn't happen, but we will be doing that one again. There is some more of that left, and actually we're going to play around, I think, with a few of the colors on that too. So that is coming. It's got the really, really sexy name with us called the Trilobal. I know it's not what you guys know it as, but it's what we know it as. It is coming back. When exactly, I can't tell you, but it is definitely on the board, Miss Ford. So there you go. Right, I'm going to keep going so I can get that newsletter out and work on. I've got to do some colour picking. I know, it's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment around here at the Skeinz. I will be back again on, what day is it today? Monday. I'll be here on Thursday. So until then, and hopefully on Thursday, you never know, I may even have a finished object to show you. Stop it. I'll see you then. Bye.